What's up, guys? This is Pastor Isaac from La Voz Silmar Church, and I'm just here trying to share some inspiring words for you guys. And I want to start off with a quick story. Back in 2009, when I was just getting the call to be a pastor, I had gotten the drive, and I felt that God was calling me to do this. And I went to my parents, and I told them, "Hey, Mom, Dad, I'm going to be a pastor." He's like, "For real?" What parent was? That's not what I expected, but they were like, "For real? Like, are you really going to go back to school?" And stuff. I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's what it takes to go back to school." And I actually went to check out La Sierra University to try to, enroll with one of my pastors, and I found out that it was about $30,000 just for tuition. I was kind of sad and bummed out on my way back because $30,000. My parents would not have been able to help me financially speaking, and they kind of handcuffed me when it comes to FAFSA because both of them were teachers and they both made well over the minimum that is required for FAFSA apparently. So I knew I wouldn't be able to count on FAFSA, and I knew I wouldn't be able to count on my parents. So I was out of luck. But on my way back to church, we ended up talking to the church treasurer. And the pastor explained to him, like, "Hey, Isaac's going to go to study theology." And the treasurer's like, "Where is he going to go?" And, we just came back from La Sierra. It's this much. And he didn't know what to say. But he said, "Well, why don't you go to the Philippines?" And I said, "The Philippines?" I said, "Well, yeah, let's go to the Philippines. It's only $2,000 a semester." I said, "Wow." And right there and then is when I decided that I was going to go to the Philippines to study theology. And I went home excited, and I was telling my parents, like, "Hey, Mom, Dad, I'm going to the Philippines and I'm going to study theology there." And my parents are like, What? You're going where?" I went home, and I knew I had no money. I had absolutely no money whatsoever. But I went home and I continued to read the Bible, and I said, "God, tell me something. Speak to me today." And I came across this verse that many of you guys might know it. And I've read it before this specific moment in my life. But when I read it that night, it became personal to me. It became something that I can actually survive off of. I could go back to it anytime that I need it. And trust me, I've gone back to this text about more than 100, probably 1,000 more times than I ever thought I'd go back to it, because school was not easy. Pastoring is not easy, and the times that we're living in is not easy. But this is the verse that it says. It's found in Luke chapter 12. Luke chapter 12, verses 22 and on up to 34. It says, and he said to the disciples, so this is Jesus talking, and I took it as Jesus talking to me. "Therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat, nor about your body, what you will put on. For life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Consider the ravens, they neither sow nor reap. They have neither storehouses nor barns, and yet God feeds them. Or of how much more value are you than birds?" This hit me so strong because I believe this very much. I believe that God made me wonderful and fearfully made for me to worry about my situation, about my finances. God was talking to me at this point in my life. Verse 25 says, "And which of you by being anxious can add a single hour to your life? If then you are not able to do a small thing as that, why are you anxious?" God is basically talking to his disciples, and he's saying, if you can't add a minute, a second to your life, why are you worried? Why are we worried about these other small things? So it was very deep for me to actually hear this. And verse 28 says, "But if God so clothed the grass which is alive in the field today and tomorrow is thrown into oven, how much more will he clothe you, or you of little faith? And do not seek, what you are to eat and what you are to drink, nor be worried, for all the nations of the world seek after these things, and your Father knows that you need them. Instead, seek his kingdom, and these things will be added to you." So this is very beautiful for me because I didn't know how I was going to make it to the Philippines. I didn't know where the money was going to come from. But believe me, God provided a way. God provided finances. God provided things that I needed. And the story is much longer, but I just want to leave you with this. In the time that we're living with We're rushing to grocery stores. We're trying to stay indoors. Not to say that we shouldn't abide by these rules. We definitely should. But let's keep our faith in God. Let's seek the kingdom of God anywhere we're at. In your house, in your family's house, in our new style of worship online. Seek the kingdom of God everywhere you go, and let God be the center of your life, now and forever.